So the first one, the most common one, is people punching with their shoulder too far extended, going completely forwards. You always want to keep the shoulder back, because that way I'm not hyperextending, which makes me off balance. And I punch too far here, letting my shoulder go forwards, then here, look. Whereas if it's kept backwards here and I punched, bomb, can't be pulled off balance. Okay, so the further away I am from the strike, further I am away, the shoulder is up. Here it's too far forwards and I'm just off balance. I have to keep the shoulder back. Boom. Not. See, this is off balance here, and it's bad for the shoulder as well, because I'm locking myself up like that, locked up. So here, 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 not the shoulder forwards. So keep the shoulder back when punching in Wing Chun. Second most common mistake that we see is people punching across their own center line and leaning backwards at the same time. So they're essentially breaking their own center and they're losing their own center of balance. What do I mean by that? So from the goat clamping stance, we see a lot of the time people punching like this over their own center line and leaning backwards at the same time here, like this, like this. I've leaned backwards away from it. Don't do that, and don't over punch as well. So here, bomb, 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 bomb. I don't have to go over here like this or over here like that. Conversely, I don't have to punch too far out either. Again, if you see, I've crossed my own center and I'm leaning back. So the problem with this is that once I've done this, like here, one, I've crossed too far because I'm no longer on the center line. Wing Chun, you don't break your own center line. Like this, I'm too far extended, gone over here. If I was on the opponent, I'd be here. I've still turned, but I haven't gone like this. I haven't gone all the way back for no reason. When you do that, if you feel for yourself, you just try and keep your head still, and you turn. Look, I can push, and I'm able to resist it, because I haven't broken my centre. If, however, I come off my own centre line and I push, I've gone. So don't overturn, and don't go too far backwards or too far forwards, and don't punch across your own centre line. When I turn, I'm staying in line with it. Okay? Not over here, punching whatever that is. Here, here, here. Third most common mistake you see is people not keeping their elbow pointed to the ground. So when you don't have the connection, the body isn't aligned properly, you're losing power. So if the elbow is pointed to the ground, here, you see, look at how strong this is, this structure. Yeah? I'm literally just bouncing myself off, supported with the weight. However, if I bring the elbow out, look, see, there's no support. So it's good arm workout, but it's not actually helping with the punch. Okay, so when you're punching, you want to make sure that the elbow is pointed to the ground when you're punching. And in fact, in Wing Chun, you don't ever break the elbow point into the ground principle. So you lose power. Apart from in Bong Sao. It's the only time where we have no choice but to do that. But every other time, every position should be done with the arm, with the elbow pointing to the ground, so we don't lose that alignment. See? Boom. If I come out here, yeah, so boom. Yeah? So always keep the elbow pointed to the ground. Number 4, when you see a lot, is people tensing up at the wrong point. So because it's a punch, there's a tendency to think, okay, we have to be all like this. But it's bad kung fu in general to be constantly tense. So you really only want the tension for a small amount of time. Once we make that connection, once you make the connection, at that point you can tense up. But here we're just relaxed. Here, it's not. See, it's not full of tension. But if you're like this is really bad kung fu. First of all, it slows down the strike, right? So my muscles are rigid when I'm doing this. Okay, that's the first thing. Secondly, if I come into contact with a deflection or whatever the opponent is giving me, my tension here, boom, okay, it's full of tension, so hit them, and it's going to come back into me, to my rigidity, because if I'm relaxed, boom, yeah, so it's not doing that. And then once I've made that connection there, like that, but until that, boom. The other thing is, when we relax, we're able to generate a lot more force when we do contract. So if you go from relax, tense, relax, tense, you're going to suddenly create that tension, that force, that tension. Whereas if you're just constantly tense, there's nothing here. There's nothing. It's not doing anything. So see, relax, and then on the punch, then the tension comes. Number 5 is over telegraphing the punches in general. So bringing the hand back first, which we see a lot in the vastly inadequate and terrible Wing Chun that's being taught, is that you see people, they bring it back, right? So to go like that and then here. So if I'm punching, I don't come back here first because it's needless. So and then come back here. You don't need to do it. If I'm just going to strike out, then boom, like this. It's not a case of like here and then I'm going to bring back. So in Wing Chun, if the opponent has made this gap here, then you need to go straight in, right? That's what we're learning in Wing Chun. You constantly advance. So if the opponent's going to open up a space for me by bringing their fist back when they punch, then obviously I'm going to go in. Okay. So you want to make sure that you're not bringing back that fist when you're punching. It just comes boom, boom, boom. Yeah. And number 6 is to raise the elbows. Well, again, this comes back to the first point with the shoulders. Okay, so you don't want to raise the elbow when you're punching. The elbow, it shouldn't be up here like this, because I'm fully locked out. That's the first point. The second point is here. I'm going to be down here. If I can't reach the opponent with the punch, then I have to go forwards, bring myself in. But I can't. But doing this up here to make the connection, it's too weak. It's not going to work. It's more of an emergency situation maybe. But when we're training, when we're trying to get things as good as possible, you don't want to get in this habit of having these elbows too far up. So You want to keep the elbow nice and low. The other reason for this is if the strike come in, right? So say there's a punch coming in, I want to keep it low so that I can control the opponent, okay? And I want to have it up here where this is all open, and as soon as if they deflect it, I'm going to go because my structure is now broken. Whereas if I keep it here, then I have a much better chance of actually controlling the strike. So the general principle is lowest possible point for the elbow, yeah? So that's just a few basics and mistakes that we commonly see in Wing Chun punching. And you'll see it in a lot of schools as well. All of the punches that I've shown you can be done from the goat clamping stance, and they can also be done from a sparring or forward stance, right? So neutral, it's both. But the principles don't change. If you can manage to at least stick to not making these 6 mistakes, it will cause a great improvement in your Wing Chun and in your Kung Fu in general. Thank you for watching, and I hope that helps.